In this video, we'll start talking about the Metasploit framework, which is an open source penetration testing and development platform programmed in Ruby that provides exploits for a variety of applications and operating systems. Metasploit is one of the most commonly used penetration testing tools in the world. This exploitation framework consists of a group of tools and utilities put together to conduct security audits, test security vulnerabilities, enumerate networks, evade detection, or hack systems. It can be used by both white and black hat hackers because Metasploit is launching real, not simulated attacks. Let's go straight into Metasploit and see how it works. I'll show you a real exploitation on a vulnerable server. The hacker's machine will be Kali Linux, and the victim's machine, exploitable VM, we have installed in the previous lecture. These two machines are connected to the same internal NAT network, and we can check the connection using ping. In this lecture, I'll show you how a hack is performed from the beginning. The first step of any attack is called reconnaissance. So let's scan the target for vulnerabilities using nmap. I want to scan the target as root. So nmap -a and the target's IP address. It's almost done. Metasploitable has some intentional vulnerabilities, but the same will happen in real case scenarios. The hacker will scan for vulnerabilities, and if there is any, he will try to exploit that vulnerability. The nmap report shows us important information about the services that are running, their version, and vulnerabilities. We see that there are a lot of vulnerabilities. Let's take the SSH server and search on Google for exploits for that version. And we notice there are some exploits available. Those exploits can be executed using Metasploit. Further in this video, we'll focus on VS FTPD v2.3.4, which seems vulnerable. This vulnerability will provide us with a root shell using a backdoor command execution. This means we will have full root access to the vulnerable system. The exploit can be executed using Metasploit as well. These are the instructions. Metasploit is already available in Kali Linux, and to start it, just execute msf console. Metasploit is starting. Once opened, we can search for a vulnerability or for a service by name. So search VS FTPD. By the way, VSTPD comes from very secure FTP daemon. And that's not a joke. And the search result shows the location of the exploit, and to select it we execute use and the path to that exploit. So use, and I'll copy paste the path. The next step is to check the options required to run the exploit. Show options. We notice we can set the victim's IP using set and rhost parameters. This will be the IP address of the Metasploitable VM. So set the option, rhost, and the victim's IP address. Let's check it again. So 10.0.2.4. Let's check the options one more time. The remote IP address and the port, the default FTP port. The final step is to run the exploit. I'm executing run. The exploit is running. And the target has been hacked. We have gained access to Metasploitable VM remotely. A shell has opened and allows us to fully control the machine. We own that machine and we are connected as root. I'm connected on Metasploitable.